Well, good morning, everyone. We're Build a Drink. My name's Quillen Noel. I'm the CEO, currently a senior studying finance and entrepreneurship. Hopefully a graduate in about 3 weeks. We'll see. I have a certification in sales, as well as multiple years behind a managerial workforce.
Hey guys, my name is Jacob Sellers. I'm the CFO of Build a Drink. I'm a junior here at WSU. I'm studying finance and entrepreneurship. I have about 2 years of experience in sales, and recently in December, I started working in consulting.
My name's Dawson Thomas. I'm the CTO of Build a Drink. I'm studying mechanical engineering and entrepreneurship, and I've got experience in practical engineering as well as manufacturing from 2 internships at Lockheed Martin.
Hi, my name is Sebastian. I'm studying entrepreneurship and will be graduating with a sales certificate. I'm also the current president of the Entrepreneurship Club, and I'm working with Wazoo's Greek Life on diversity, equity, and inclusion. This is my personal mentor. He's also taken the role of our team mentor. His name is Travis Shipley. He's the current CCO of Shiftboard, a scheduling software. He has over 20 years experience in sales, professional services, business development, and customer success. He's been taking the role of just like overall advice, insights, and then keeping us from the problems that he's experienced before in the industry.
Events hosted in stadiums or large outside venues face a plethora of problems when it comes to serving alcoholic drinks. Long lines plague customers and often reduce the amount of profit a venue can generate. Studies show that consumers spend less money when faced with long wait times. Training bartenders often takes weeks or even months, and the quality of drinks they are able to produce can vary wildly with experience. Tenured bartenders are effective, but even they're not perfect. Overpour is a common problem in these markets as well. Simply put, overpour is when a bartender puts too much alcohol in a drink and customers get more than they paid for. This may not seem like a major issue, but it causes an average of 12 to 15% profit loss. In combination with long lines, the actual time to receive your drink can be an issue as well. Compared to our machine, bartenders are 2 to 3 times slower at producing drinks. Finally, tipping, especially in the United States, costs consumers extra money and causes drinks to be more expensive. Consumers won't have to tip our machine, and it will save them money. The Build a Drink platform will not only be able to cut down wait times for drinks, but it will also provide consistent cocktails tailored to each person. Our concept models will allow for 16 different types of alcohol with 20 different mixers. This will allow for more than 360 possible combinations that can be created when connected with a point-of-sale system. Our machine will be able to produce up to 220 drinks per hour due to the fact that we are developing sophisticated hardware inside a large machine with plenty of space for high flow rate pumps. We will be able to provide a state-of-the-art inventory tracking process to our customers, so venue operators will be able to keep machines with a high uptime. At the end of every drink creation cycle, a rapid cleaning process will be performed to ensure that drinks taste exactly as they should.
So these are the markets that we're going to be addressing, which are the commercial appliance market, right now valued at $93.95 billion. The concession catering markets, which is $32.3 billion, and the event planning markets, which are valued at $5.6 billion. These total added up, they add to our serviceable available market, which is $131.85 billion.
So for competitors, Build a Drink has 3 main competitors that we will be going head-to-head with. We broke these competitors down into 4 different categories, comparing them to ourselves. The first competitor we're going to talk about is called Bartesian. Bartesian is a tabletop at-home machine that can be best described as a Keurig of alcohol. With their own version of K-Cups, they are able to produce 30 to 35 drinks per hour and have a waste reduction percentage of 82%. Because they are a smaller machine, they only have 1 bottle of alcohol in use at a time, minimizing their cocktail ranges from 1 to 4 drinks. It is a simple machine and very easy to use, and that is why they received an 8 out of 10 for the user-friendly scale. Our second competitor is Rent a Bartender. This is an online platform that allows for events to go out and hire the right bartenders for the right jobs. Rent a Bartender is mainly used for private events, corporate parties, or any kind of get-togethers with larger amounts of people. A professional bartender can produce drinks anywhere from 35 to 60 handcrafted cocktails per every hour. Since we are dealing with humans here and no one is perfect, the waste production can fluctuate anywhere from 40 to 72% every single night. When hiring a bartender, keeping the list of drinks that can be made to a minimal helps speed up their production, make less mistakes, and keeps the drink menu simple. This is why we took the average of different kinds of drinks made a night and totaled it to be about 10 to 20 per event. Since the competitor is not a machine, we felt that they were not applicable to the user-friendly category. Our third competitor and largest competitor is Mixology. Mixology can produce up to 180 drinks per hour with a waste reduction average of 94%. This machine can make anywhere from 280 to 300 cocktails at any given time and has a rating of 6 out of 10 on the user-friendly scale. Build-A-Drink. Build-A-Drink compares well to all of its competitors. The rate at which Build-A-Drink can produce is up to 220 drinks an hour with a waste reduction rate of 98%. We will have access to up to 525 preset drinks in the machine at any given time. With a 2-step fast process when picking a drink, our quick cleaning process, and an inventory tracking software, we gave ourselves a 9 out of 10 on the user-friendly rate. For go-to-market, Build-A-Drink is a 3-step plan when going to market. Our first phase is creating sales channels and creating market awareness. Some of this will look like scheduling demo meetings with venues and event planners, attending trade shows, and growing our social media pages. We understand how expensive hiring a sales rep and a team is to attend a trade show, so for the first year, some of us are going to be the ones attending these trade shows. With this, we are saving some money, allowing us to attend more trade shows, getting our name and business out there more and more. We will want to test our product in a few wedding venues and concert venues. Incentivizing our early prototype users is something we plan on doing. Incentivizing these early adopters of our product with discounted future contracts will help us gather more willing prototype users, allowing us to bring in more of our own analytics from real-life cases of customer feedback. In phase 2, we will begin to approach other markets, this being professional sporting organizations and stadium ownership groups. Getting our product into stadiums and approved by ownership will be a tremendous step into our expansion phase. We will also be creating contracts with larger event planning companies, as well as airport lounges and casinos. Our third phase will consist of diversifying our product even more and coming up with a process to begin development of an at-home model that will allow us to break into a new market completely.
So currently, Build-A-Drink has spoken to and been receiving a couple verbal agreements by a couple wedding venues, some venues in Washington State. Some of the ones we've been talking to are Bianchi Vineyards, the Martin Scott Winery, the Union Hills Cider Company, and then the Town Toyota Center in Wenatchee. And the Town Toyota Center is a space, a venue that has things every weekend. So this would allow us to get feedback from consumers and expand our design to have it be higher in a user friendliness scale. This summer, we plan on getting a few more contracts set up with a couple more venues. Furthermore, going out of Wenatchee into Seattle and then eventually across states in the nation.
So Build-A-Drink's revenue model is pretty straightforward. It's going to cost businesses $25,000 to buy the product. However, when engaging in contracts with distributing partners, large event planning companies, we do expect to reduce this cost for bulk orders as well as potential partnerships. However, in those contract negotiations, we don't plan to ever drop below the $20,000 per machine mark. That way we keep a very healthy margin. It's going to cost us $12,000 to manufacture these machines in-house. However, we plan to spend $125,000 on research and development each year for the manufacturing process. We are aiming for this to pay off in year 4, which in turn will reduce the cost to $8,000 per machine, being 33% less than our prior cost. Our key targets for this revenue model will be alcohol concessions in stadiums, large event planning companies that rent products to its customers for certain events, corporate events, things like that. Large casinos that need to get drinks out to the floor quickly, as well as airport lounges, because we believe that'll allow us to be seen by a lot of eyes.
You've got about 5 minutes left.
Awesome. Thank you. So for our financial statements, we have included a year 0, which would essentially be from now to the end of the year. So that's why we have nothing for sales, cost of goods sold, gross profit. Under that, for our operating expenses, we have salaries of $65,000 for the 4 founders. We are going to invest $300,000 in general office things, an enterprise resource planning system, a CRM system for sales, and the development of those systems to be able to intertwine with each other. When prospecting a place in Woodinville, Washington, where we'd be able to set up manufacturing as well as have a small office, we came out to about $80,000 over a 5 to 6 year lease. We're accounting for $50,000 for travel. That way we can go to places where our product is being, shown for the first time, or specific venues, as well as going to meet with potential partnerships and setting up deals. We're going to spend $125,000 on our service manual. That way mechanics for machines for commercial appliances know how to fix this product. And then we are planning to spend about $1.25 million on the research and development of the manufacturing process itself, as well as $100,000 in advertising, which in turn will leave us about $2,145,000 in the red for those first 2 quarters. In year 1, you'll see at the top, we're estimating the number of units we'll sell year by year. So we have 150, leaving us with a gross profit of $1.95 million. Our salaries will increase to $910,000. That'll be 10 manufacturing employees, as well as us 4 founders, all at $65,000. For the office ERP, CRM, and development, we plan to invest about $100,000 each year for those 5 years. The rent will stay the same. The travel will be $50,000 for the first 3 years, and then increase to $75,000 for years 3 and 4, and then $100,000 in year 5. For the service manual R&D, we expect to spend $10,000 to $15,000 just to keep that updated every year. And then, like I said, in the R&D manufacturing, we will do $125,000 every year, in which we expect to see that pay off in year 4, where you'll see we will actually sell 800 units or 250 more than the prior year, but we'll spend less on the cost of goods sold. The advertising will go up by about $50,000 in the first 2 years, and then $75,000 each year after that. And year 1, we expect to be about $500,000 in the green. And then some other changes you will notice is in year 3, we will add 2 sales associates at $65,000 on a 5% commission rate. That'll be bumped up to 11 when selling 3 machines or more at once. Over to the very right, you'll be able to see our totals for that time.
Got about 2.5 minutes left.
Awesome. So for funding, Build a Drink is seeking out $1.25 million through private investment, family and friends, and grants and award money. This money will be used to fully develop the final product that we will be able to roll out and fund the company for the first 2 quarters of launch. Over this summer, we hope to meet, potential investors, distributing partners, event planning companies to set up potential contracts or partnerships and to get the ball rolling in a sense.
Questions?
Right, we've got about 10 minutes for questions.
I'm kind of curious, did you guys think about sponsoring, or partnering with alcohol brands, and they maybe pay us a premium to be inside of the Build a Drink system to kind of help with those profits, and maybe even bring them down for the cost of the business, because $25,000 for an event planner and company is not pennies, right? And so maybe there's opportunity there to play with those numbers.
Right. Actually, I've been thinking about this a lot. This will especially work well with the inventory tracking system. So we were thinking of partnering with, different alcohol brands, so that way you don't have to necessarily pay retail prices to put the mixed drinks in the machine. And that way it'll streamline the inventory upkeep process, and it'll keep costs down as well.
Cool.
Can you guys help me a little bit with the kind of the sequence of the development of the product itself? I'm not quite sure whether I understand you have a working prototype, or when you talk about this summer being at wedding venues, what product will you have there?
Do you want to take this one, Dawson, or?
Yeah, sure. So right now we have CAD designs for preliminary, for a preliminary design. But in order to develop a product that would be ready to go into lots of venues like stadiums and things like that, it's going to take a significant amount of money to develop that. But because we're developing it in-house, it'll be easier to iterate over time and create better and better products. At the end of the day, it's not a super complicated machine. So the biggest hurdle we're facing right now is integrating the software with the machine with an app. And we're going to be looking for a computer science person to add to the team so they can help develop that. I'm not super familiar with how you would integrate, computer science in the machine in order to synchronize it with an app and payment services and things like that. So that's my personal area of weakness. But for the actual development of the physical machine with the pumps and the computer and the refrigeration aspect, that part's really not super complicated. So I think we could have a functional prototype in just a couple of weeks, really, if we had the funding for it. And then for a larger prototype, that could maybe take anywhere from 3 to 4 months to get really fleshed out.
Can you give me an idea of the scale of the machine itself, the size? I mean, you talk about your go-to-market strategies and doing demos and going to actual locations. Is this a product that you can ship easily or travel with, or just give me an idea of what the scale of it is?
Yeah, sure. So if you were shipping it across the country, you'd basically need a van. You could fit probably 3 or 4 in a large utility van. In terms of physical size, they're about 6 feet tall and 4 to 5 feet wide. And then depth, it's about 3 feet. And then the shipment aspect would not be terrible because a lot of the weight of the machine would come with holding all of the liquid, and you wouldn't ship it with all of the drinks inside. But in terms of physical size, shipping, it's not the biggest challenge.
So to add on to that, to kind of make the sizing and scaling of it a little more simple, if you've ever seen like one of those Coca-Cola freestyle machines, if you've ever gone to like a fast food restaurant and you walk up and they have that massive touchscreen pop machine, it is a little bit smaller than that, but it's about the same size as that. With the shipping as of right now, because all of these venues are in the same local area, for now, the shipping would be much easier than if we are taking it across country, like Dawson was talking about. So once we do start taking it across country, it will start costing more because they are larger machines and they aren't the heaviest, but they are heavy. But as we just stay in Washington State for now, that shouldn't be too big of an issue, especially if they're all in the same. As of right now, we're all in the same area. Each venue's within 20 minutes of each other, so getting those machines there wouldn't actually cause us too many.
Right. It's you could move it with like a dolly, basically.
Yeah.
Also, Quellen, they're actually a little bit bigger than the Coca-Cola freestyle machines.
Oh, it is bigger?
A little bit longer.
It's a little bit wider. But it's a pretty good comparison though. It's around that size. It's just a little bit wider by like a foot.
One last question. When it comes to the $25,000 unit price, have you worked the various ROIs that you can use as part of your go-to-market pitch so that someone who is looking at selling more drinks quicker, less waste, and then the reducing the overpour? I mean, is there a way to put an ROI in front of potential venue or customer that they could see, well, that's an expensive unit price, but I guess it would pay for itself in X number of uses or some way to demonstrate the ROI.
Yeah, I can answer that. I think with this product, we're really going to be targeting areas that are getting quite a bit of traction. Lots of people are going through them. On average, I believe on that side it said 12 to 15% of overpour. So really, when it comes to that, all we would have to take would be the amount they're spending on those alcohol, I guess, bottles in total, and then we could apply that 12 to 15% when it comes to bartenders and kind of give them a price based on that, like a total of what the ROI would look like.
Right. And also beyond that, if you were to replace a bartender with a machine, you wouldn't have to pay the salary of a bartender as well. So depending on the venue, like if you were to hire a bartender and said you hire us, then the salary aspect or the wage is also subtracted out. And that's a pretty significant portion.
And I can also add to that, really all you need is somebody to operate the POS system and to be able to grab the drinks from the machine when it's not going, I guess, in cases where the consumer wouldn't be grabbing it themselves. So you could, I guess, pay a lot less when it comes to that.
Right?
I have a question regarding your revenue model.
Mhm.
Have you explored ways to make this a razor blade model? I mean, you have the device itself, but I'm assuming you might need attachments for some of these other liquor bottles that are very uniquely shaped, or if you have like bottles that are only compatible with the device. Just wondering about that.
I mean, in terms of the bottle caps, that would be, I guess, kind of Dawson. But in terms of that, I guess, model, we really want to look at just a straightforward, I guess we're really going to focus on the partnerships with these distributing companies that are working in appliances. That way we can kind of cut them a price and that way they get some margins on it when looking at that model. We definitely want to sell in-house ourselves. However, we're going to really try to scale it in terms of working with those companies and them doing a lot of that for us. And then with the bottles,
I can
Dawson, yeah.
I can answer that. So if we were to partner with the companies that sell the alcohol, like different, obviously they have different shapes and bottles, but those are often for retail markets. And it would probably be advantageous for them as well as us, and just to have like a simple shaped container, because producing complicated shapes of bottles is pretty expensive. So we would be able to partner with them and say, okay, we could use a simple container, put that in the machine, and then that would work out pretty well. And if not, if for some reason companies wouldn't go for it, you can actually, it's pretty simple to design around that. You just have to have some sort of, attachment mechanism inside the machine that would be able to handle various shapes of bottles. And that's the fairly simple design problem.
Okay.
Great, and we are out of time for questions. So I think we're all good to go, but thank you so much.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you,
thanks
guys.
everyone
Thank you.
for listening and sitting here. We appreciate it.